There is this common mistake that wrecks your progress on guitar, and believe it or not, it is not that hard to fix it. If you feel like you have plateaued and your improvement has stalled, keep watching and I will show you how you can unstuck yourself and start improving no matter what is your skill level. But in order to get there, we first need to understand the problem that causes your stagnation. We all know that in order to get better on guitar, we need to practice. That's pretty obvious, right? But it gets a little bit more complicated once we start to analyze what practicing really means. Because the word practice is not really that self-explanatory. Many aspiring guitar players believe they understand what does it mean to practice, but if you actually watch their practice session, you can see that they don't really know what they are doing. Their practice session look more like a playing session. They just randomly choose a song or exercise and just play through it. Usually too fast and with the same mistakes and sloppy technique, they just keep getting ingrained in their muscle memory. But this also happens to guitar players that have a slightly better understanding of the word practice. They might have a plan they follow, they know which exercises or songs they want to do, and they consistently spend time with their instrument. And yet their improvement is also almost non-existent. How can this be when they supposedly do everything right? Let me illustrate it with an example. Let's say I want to learn the famous solo from Smoke on the Water, and it is this lick that I really cannot play cleanly in tempo. And for the sake of this video, let's just pretend I don't know how to play that lick. What most guitar students do when they experience this type of situation is that they repeat the phrase few times, usually with many mistakes, and once they play one good repetition, they get satisfied and continue with the rest of the solo. It looks something like this. But of course, this approach doesn't work very well. Some more experienced players might isolate that lick and practice it for 10 minutes, but that also very often might not be enough to play it cleanly and easily. There is still something missing. Can you guess what it is? Here it goes. Practicing something doesn't mean just stacking repetition after repetition for a set amount of time. To practice means actively trying to improve something that you cannot do well. You cannot just set the timer for 10 minutes, do a bunch of repetitions, and hope that you will somehow improve. With each repetition you need to think, what is the problem that is stopping me from playing this lick cleanly, and how can I solve this problem? In other words, there has to be an intention to improve with each repetition, and not just numbing your brain with many mindless and wrong repetitions. There might be one movement that ruins the whole thing, there might be wrong pick direction that slows you down, or finger placement that produces unwanted noise. Your task is to find these little details and solve them, and then you start putting together correct repetitions. But there is one more thing that we need to pay attention to. You don't leave the thing you are practicing until you improve at least a tiny bit. No matter what you are practicing, you don't stop when the timer goes off, but when you make an improvement. This doesn't mean that you can learn the whole lick in one sitting. For technically difficult passages, this is not possible. But you should aim to feel more effortless with the movement, see a better precision, or hear cleaner sound or faster execution. These tiny improvements will compound over time and you will be able to master a thing that now seems impossible to play. As corny as it sounds, it is all about making each repetition count and really going deep into uncovering why you cannot play something and then finding solutions to those problems. Once you can do that with each thing you practice, I can guarantee you that you will smash your plateaus very fast. I really hope that this video helps you, and if you like my lesson, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Take care, keep rocking, and see you in the next video.